Hello and welcome to this Game Pit Stop for Res Arcana, designed by Tom Lehmann, published by Sandcastle Games. Res Arcana is a 2 to 4 player game in which each player is going to play the role of a different mage with a different power, who's going to be given a hand of just 8 artifact cards, and from those artifact cards they're attempting to build up an engine to collect these different essences in order to score points, and whoever's the first player to have more than 10 points at the end of a round is going to be the winner of the game. So how does a round work? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to check and see if you've got any collect powers out in front of you. And then you're going to collect the essences associated with them. So my basin will give me 2 of those calm, and I'll get 1 elan and 1 death here from my dancing sword. Once everyone's done that, each of the players are going to take turns from the first player in order to take one of the actions available to you. Now, the first thing you can do is, if you do have any artifacts in your hand, you can play them down onto the board. Now, when you play them down, they're all going to have a cost in essences. For example, for this jeweled statuette, it cost me 2 death and 1 gold. I'd simply put those back into the middle, and then this is available to me. It's as easy as that to get an artifact into play. However, you only start with a hand of 3 of them, and generally you only draw 1 each turn. So you have to be careful which ones you're going to play. Now, lots of these things that you have out, including your own mage, are going to have different powers, not just these collection things. And for the vast majority of the time, you're going to have to turn them in order to use them. So I've chosen to be a transmuter here, meaning when I turn this, I can take 2 of these essences and turn them into 3 of any other essence, but excluding gold. And gold is always the hardest essence to get in this game, and you'll see why in a second when we start talking about how we're going to score points. So you can get different essences. This one over here, for example, is going to allow me to interact with other players, giving me as much calm as any other player has got elan. This jeweled statuette is going to get me death, but is also going to get other players 1 death while I get 3. There are lots of other sorts of powers you can get. For example, this guard dog, if I use it and I spend 1 elan, I can then unturn one of my other cards and use it again on my turn. This dragon egg is going to allow me to place the powerful dragons for cheaper. And this wind-up man will collect resources over the course as long as you leave them on there, but they're not available for you to spend until you decide to collect them when he's going to be depowered again and you're going to have to power him up. And there's different ways that all of these artifacts comes with a big, huge deck. And as I say, each player is only dealt 8 at the beginning of each game. The other thing you can do with your deck of artifact cards is you can throw one away from your hand. That will only go in your discard pile or come back round again. But if you do that, you get only 2 essences or 1 gold. So why are we doing all this in order to collect all these essences? Well, you can see on some of these cards, they have got points at the bottom of them, the dragon egg and the dragon and the jeweled statuette here. However, there's also these monuments in play. There are always 2 available. They always cost 4 gold, and they're going to score you a variety of points, and also they're going to have a variety of powers. For example, as soon as I buy this Hanging Gardens, it gives me 3 non-gold essences. This temple allows me to collect 1 life at the beginning of each round, and also lets me react by turning this to prevent an attack from taking place on me. Cards such as Dragons allow you to attack your rivals and make them discard some of their essences. Once one of these is bought, it's always replaced from the top of the deck. For example, this library is going to allow me to draw a card. I said that it's very limited the number of cards you can draw each round, and so on and so forth through the monuments. There are also these places of power. Now, these are very expensive in terms of essences, but they won't cost you gold. They're going to give you powers. For example, the Dragon's Lair, you always can collect gold by using it. However, if you use another card and a dragon, you can place gold on here. And this Dragon's Lair is worth 1 point for every gold on here. This Cursed Forge will allow you to collect gold on there as well. And there's different ways of scoring points for each of these. Now, the last thing you can do on your turn is that you can pass. When you pass, if you're the first player to pass, you take that, and that's worth 1 point to you, the first player marker. Also, you'd have had one of these magical items to use during the course of your round. This one would have protected me from attack, similar to the temple up there. But at the end of your round, you put this back and you take another one, but you take it flipped over to show that you have in fact passed. And that's when it's going to let you draw 1 card. Once all the players have passed, we're going to check and see if any player has got more than 10 points, they've won the game. If there's a tie for players on more than 10 points, we'll see who's got the most essences left. And whoever's got the most points or the most essences after that is going to be the winner of Res Arcana. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel. For more in-depth coverage of gaming, please check out the Game Pit podcast. Thank you.